Ever since we got our Tesla in March of 2021, our lives have never been the same. From being able to wake up every morning with a full battery so I never need to go to a dirty gas station or wait in these Costco lines ever again, to test this amazing technology like their full self-driving where the car drives on its own on long road trips, reducing driver fatigue so when I arrive to my destination, I'm just chilling, to all the awesome software updates that makes the car better every time. And we can't forget there have been no issues charging on road trips because of their crazy and well-planned supercharging network. I mean, there are chargers everywhere. It also shows you the status of the chargers on the screen, any foods or bathrooms nearby, eliminating any range anxiety. So overall, I've been very happy with my purchase for the most part. But then this article caught my eye by Tom from Tom's Guide. Wait, is this the Tom from Tom's Guide? No, it can't be. Anyways, Tom put out an article that he drove his Tesla for more than 1,000 miles and will never buy a Tesla. He hates the minimalist interior, the way the Tesla locks and unlocks, the turn signals, the lack of Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, ditto on that one, and a few other stuff. And I'm all for anyone's opinion, but it got me thinking, do I regret buying my Tesla with all the crap I went through? And am I the only black sheep? Do others feel that way? So I ended up asking 10 people around my neighborhood who own Teslas how their experience is and if they had any issues. And the results will surprise you. What is up, guys? It's Chris with Everydaychris, and welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for Tesla, tech, and everyday life. Make sure to slap that subscribe button and hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. So I've talked about all the good stuff of the Tesla. Let's talk about the bad stuff that happened with Daddy Chill, aka my Tesla Model Y long range. Now, one of the craziest right off the bat was when my high voltage giant battery pack died and I wasn't able to charge the car or drive it for over a week, but I'm gonna go into that in a second. Now, there were a lot of minor issues with the Tesla Model Y, like the trunk opening and then sagging down a little bit. And when I did take it in to Tesla service for them to fix it twice, in the end, it was never fixed and they just said it was within spec, which has been Tesla's motto. It's within spec, because other cars are like that, but really it isn't. And we can't forget about the horrible quality control and fit and finish issues that came with the car, like this jagged trunk piece that again looked like it was sawed off by hand. But when I told the service people, they said it's within spec. Now, I've logged in almost 45,000 miles, probably almost 50,000 miles soon after all the road trips we have planned in the 2 years we own the car. And again, I've had my share of bad experiences, but overall it wasn't too bad. So let's start with me, and warning, this isn't a Tesla fanboy rant or drinking the Musk Kool-Aid. I'm going to be 100% transparent. Now, it already started when I purchased my Tesla. Now, when you get a Tesla, I do love the fact that it's not like any other car dealer. You order it online, there's no hassles, no issues, and you get an estimated date and that's it. Eventually there's a window of when your car will arrive, and that window gets smaller and smaller, and then eventually you get a VIN number and a text from someone to schedule a pickup date. And here's where I already went to hell. I remember that I told them I wanted to pick up the car in person so I could inspect it. They said, sure. But then a few days later, in my app, it was scheduled for a home delivery. I had to call them back again, ask them to change it. It was just a little annoying. And that just doesn't stop there. We even had a friend who had a VIN for like a month. And like most people who has a Tesla for the first time, they don't know the small secrets and small details. Like if you get a VIN number, that means you're probably gonna get your car within a week or so you should be ready. However, nobody called them for an entire month. So when they finally called, because I told them to, they said that the car has been there, so just come and get it now. Bruh. Now, I'm not saying it's all bad. When we got our Tesla Model X, I told them that we wanted to inspect it and they listened, but they had to cancel my delivery day because of a recall, but that's not really their fault. And aside from that, the overall delivery experience was amazing. And again, if everyone had bad experiences, you'd probably be hearing about it a lot more. What about you guys? Have you guys had any bad delivery day experiences? Let me know in the comments below. Now, when we got our Tesla Model Y, we picked it up in this parking structure because it was during COVID times. We inspected the vehicle, and for a car that's been out for over 2 years, the build quality wasn't that bad. Panels were aligned, paint looked good aside from a few issues like recessed door handles and that jagged trunk piece like we talked about. We were pretty good for the most part. And again, I have a delivery day video on all that stuff, like 100-mile fit and finish warranty stuff. So check out my delivery day videos for that. When we were about to pay for the car, because it's Tesla and Tesla is all about technology, they of course offered payment in the form of a direct deposit online, easily through your phone. All you have to do is input your banking account information and you're done. We came home, I was vibing. It was our first Tesla. It was so much fun. And then the next day, reality kicked in and I found out something horrible. I don't know if you saw it on the news, but they ended up charging us twice for our car, as in a double charge. It's a crazy ordeal, not because of what happened, but because of the customer service. First off, there's no real number to call aside from your sales advisor. And I called the delivery center, the sales center, and they all gave me the runaround saying that it's a pending charge, so don't worry, it should cancel in a day or so. But a day or so went by and it definitely went through and it left us with no money in our bank account and we were freaking out. And honestly, with Tesla, this is Tesla's Achilles heel. Way back when, like years ago, when I heard about Tesla, I thought Tesla had the best customer service, like Chick-fil-A status. They had a red carpet for you when you accept your car. They had a bow, they clap, they make a big deal out of it, and they make it a very enjoyable experience. And yeah, I know with a lot of volume Tesla produces, it's impossible to provide that service for everybody, but it may be a lot of volume to them, but to you and me, it's like one car, and maybe even our first real car purchase ever. So it wasn't until the news got involved where people from corporate finally called me and followed up with me to make sure I got my money back. Oh, and for the trouble, they did throw in a $200 store credit to use in their Tesla store. I mean, it's still better than nothing, but yeah. You know, there's a saying, you can never get another first impression, and Tesla's customer service for that experience was downright horrible. But you know, don't hold a grudge. Life's too short. Just move on and live your life. And live our lives we did. It worked out perfectly, and if you haven't seen any of my Tesla road trip videos, my wife and I don't plan on having any real kids, so our first son Simba is unfortunately currently fighting cancer, and there's no way we're ever going to leave him alone and have like a magical honeymoon in Hawaii. So we brought the vacation to him using the Tesla. We went to Oregon twice, we went to Arizona, basically anywhere where there's water, so Simba can enjoy his best life. And although his cancer is getting worse, we're honestly taking it day by day, just basing it off of his energy level to make sure he lives the best life he can. So in our first year of owning our Tesla Model Y, we logged in over 20,000 miles and had 0 issues. And then in July of 2022, which is just a little over a year of owning the car, something really weird happened. We literally just got back from eating and the car was parked in a parking lot. We then went into the car and I got a notification saying that the charge level was reduced and it's still okay to drive. I thought it was really weird. I didn't really think much of it. I thought maybe it was just a glitch or something and the car needed to restart. So I restarted it, I tried plugging it in, but I got the dreaded red Tesla logo saying that it was unable to charge. But again, I was really hopeful. I thought maybe if it just went into a deep sleep, it'll be fine. But when I woke up, it had the same issue as unable to charge. I have a whole video on it. It's a huge thing, but long story short, there was some sort of fault in the high voltage battery, so I had to get it replaced. So it was pretty much the equivalent of having a gas car and not being able to fill up gas. So in a normal person's perspective, that's a pretty urgent service issue, right? Well, wrong. When I tried to schedule an appointment, first off, I can't even talk to anyone in person, so I had to do it through the app. And the earliest appointment was like over a week out, which is not gonna work. I mean, I had to go to work, I have to live my life. It's not like I had a spare car lying around. So I did some research online and people were saying to call emergency Tesla roadside service since technically it's not really drivable. So I did, and I was on hold for a super long time, but when I finally spoke to someone, they were super caring. They said they could tow the car to the service center now, or I could drive there and they'll let them know that I'm coming. Anyways, I mean, again, you could watch the other video for the super details, but the way that they handled it wasn't the best. I mean, the car isn't drivable. Wouldn't it make sense to give me a Tesla loaner in the meantime? But they only said they could give me a loaner if the car is being serviced currently, which it wasn't because they were waiting for the battery. So essentially they said you could either drive the car till the battery gets really low and then come back when the battery is ready, or we can possibly hold the car for you, just let it sit in the parking lot and we could get you an enterprise rental, which is like a gas car. I am super glad that they did offer the enterprise rental, which is still better than nothing, but I mean still. So again, if I had to say one negative thing about Tesla, it's their service policies. When I'm actually at the service center, the workers are accommodating, they're super caring, and they do whatever they can in their power. They're super nice about everything, honestly. And the Tesla service center in Irvine, which is where I go to, it's like family over there. Everyone there is so nice. They're always willing to help, and I really appreciate that. But again, I feel like there's a disconnect somewhere along the line, because I'll put in a service issue and they say they fixed it, but then when I look at it, it looks the exact same. And then when I tell them that's the same, they'll tell me that it's actually within spec and it's supposed to be that way, which is super annoying. But honestly, is it just me, or as my wife puts it, do I have the YouTube curse? So I had to do some research. I live in Orange County, which is the #1 place with Teslas. I asked 10 people about their experiences with their Tesla. Some had Model X's, but mostly it was 3s and Ys. They also have other non-Teslas. They only have one Tesla, so they aren't crazy Tesla fanboys. And the results were actually really surprising. I asked all my neighbors how long they had the car, how many miles were on the car, and how many issues they had, major and minor. So let's start with neighbor number 1. He had his Tesla for about 9 months. He totaled around 7,000 miles and he had 3 minor service issues. And for him, he had a Model Y long range. Neighbor number 2 had his Model Y Performance for over a year and he logged in over 29,000 miles with 0 issues, minus the original fit and finish issues that came from factory, which was really minor. And I think they did it at his home, which is a win. Neighbor number 3 had his Model Y Performance for about 5 months and he logged in about 5,000 miles and again, 0 issues. Neighbor number 4 had his Model Y long range for over a year. He had 2 small fit and finish issues and he logged in over 26,000 miles. Neighbor number 5 had his Tesla Model Y Performance for over a year, logged in over 15,000 miles, and only had 1 small fit and finish issue. So far, everyone really just has that small fit and finish issue and no major complaints, which is actually really good. Neighbor number 6 had their brand new Model Y for a few months with again 0 issues. I mean, come on, how come I'm the only one with issues? We'll save that for another day. Neighbor number 7 had her Model Y for about 1.5 years. She had 4 to 5 issues, but nothing affecting the actual driving experience, and she's logged in around 27,000 miles. Neighbor number 8 had his Model X for 4 years. He had around 3 to 4 service issues, nothing major he said, but mostly he's complaining a lot about the cost of tire replacements. Neighbor number 9 had his Model 3 for 7 months with only 9,000 miles on it, and he had a total of a whopping 8 service appointments due to issues that kept popping up like squeaking, condensation in the headlights, body alignment issues, and he drives a Model 3. And lastly, the winner, neighbor number 10, had his for over 2 years. He commutes a lot. He drove a total of 56,000 miles with 0 service issues, not even a fit and finish issues. All he had was a flat tire, and Tesla keeps calling him to tell him that he has to replace some O-ring in his trunk due to a recall, and he drives a Model 3. So overall, it's amazing. I mean, these people had their Teslas, they've been driving it, and they really haven't had any issues. I feel like for me, I just got a lemon and something happened, but that's actually really good. So when I asked them how they felt about Tesla and how they felt about Tesla service, they did say Tesla service can use some work because of how busy they are and there's never any loaners available. But they do love the mobile service visits and how they can fix most of their issues from the comfort of their own home. Overall, none of them had any major issues like me, and they're very happy with their purchase. However, I did throw in a curveball and I asked them if they'd get another Tesla or a different electric car brand. And a lot of them said they did still like having at least one gas car. So do I regret buying a Tesla? No. I think if I had to take my car in for service more, I'd say the quality of cars aren't worth the headache and hassle, but honestly, it hasn't been that bad. It's just that when I'm there for service, I'd expect a loaner car for a long service, not just Uber credits. I also don't like how they say, oh, it'll be done in a day, but it always takes longer. Now they are trying to do better. Their app shows the status of your repair, which is highly inaccurate, but it's still nice. They now have service members that work around the clock, like a graveyard shift, so they can work on Teslas more. But overall, it does seem like there are some initial quality control issues that Tesla fixes for free. But after, you just drive the car and there's nothing to worry about. No timing belts, no oil changes, nothing. Again, it could be OCD, but one of my neighbors is the most OCD because he is a user interface engineer, so he's all about the small details. And he hasn't had any issues with his Model Y either. I mean, we love Tesla so much, we recently got a Model X, and someone asked me why I didn't get something nicer for a similar price range like a BMW iX, which is super sexy. And with Tesla opening their superchargers to non-Teslas in the near future, and other cars having full self-driving features, you would think I would want another car. But then I said, but does these cars have dog mode? And I think that's what makes Tesla so unique and why they're one of the highest selling vehicles in the world. They have so many nifty features with their software updates, the fun Easter eggs, and the self-driving is what makes Tesla so awesome. Overall, the service may be hit or miss, but the car itself is solid. Time will tell, and I'll most definitely do a 100,000 mile video update, but overall, we're very happy with our Tesla. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.